Hi and welcome to MRTV Live, the live stream where we're going to talk about virtual reality, our favorite topic, I would say. And today's show is going to be super exciting. Not only do we have a live guest tonight, but we're also going to speak about the StarVR One, and we're going to compare it against the Pimax 8KX. But first, let me tell you who's going to be tonight's live guest. We have Kuba here, and Kuba is one of the developers behind these here, the Etee controllers, and in this live stream, you will be able to ask all of your questions, and it's going to be super exciting. And all of this goodness is coming up. Hi and welcome back to MRTV. My name is Sebastian Ang, and this channel is all about virtual reality. I'm bringing you unbiased and honest reviews about all the VR headsets, of all the VR accessories, like this one here, for example, and you're getting all the latest news. So if this is exciting for you, then why don't you subscribe now and click on the bell button so that you don't miss anything. Yes, hi and welcome to MRTV Live on a Saturday evening. I hope that you are ready for the show. I'm super excited about the show because, well, so many exciting topics. Of course, I believe that most of you are super excited about StarVR One and my thoughts about StarVR One and my comparison with the 8KX. And for sure, we're going to talk about it. And for sure, also, you will be able to ask me all of your questions, since I'm one of the few people on this planet who have actually tried the StarVR One. So today I'm going to share all of my insights into the device, and I believe this is going to be pretty exciting. Hello there, Guinea54 is there, David Locke is here, Skid Row is here, VR 24/7, and Etee is here too. It's going to be a hell of a show, I'm sure. Let's get more people into this stream. Why don't you help this stream by sharing it on your favorite Discord server? Oh my God, I totally forgot to share this on my own Discord server right now. So why don't you take the link and share it on your favorite VR Discord server, on your Twitter stream, on your Facebooks, on your Instagrams, on whatever, so that we can even get more people into the stream and get more people to learn about the StarVR One, how it compares to the 8KX, all these kind of things. And of course also here, these here, the Etee controllers, the Etee VR controllers, the Kickstarter has started, and you know what, actually I totally have not put the link to the Kickstarter into this window. I think I'm going to do that right now. Norman Robinson, thank you, man. Thank you for the rent, man, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Norman. So let me just go to Kickstarter. Yeah, wait a moment. We can do this together. And let me search for Etee. And here it is. The button-free VR controller. And let me copy this over. Copy. And I'm going to put it into the live dashboard. So if you want to support Etee, you can do that. Right. Okay. Yeah. Give us the news. Stark's Beard. Thank you, Nathaniel Kemp. Thank you for $5, man. That's amazing. Man, Stark's Beard. Oh my goodness. You know what? I haven't been in touch with you, man. And I totally didn't upload that video that I made of a certain famous person riding your ride. And you know what? I'm going to send you the video. Yeah? I'm going to send you the video. And totally forgot about that. Man, sorry about this. But good that you're here and you're going to enjoy this show, because we're going to talk about the StarVR One. And I think for you, it is pretty exciting, dear Stark's Beard. Yeah, by the way, cheers. Adult beverages. Okay, so Yeah, before we get into the show and before we start the show with the Etee controllers, let me tell you what this year means. This year, if you love this channel and if you want to support this channel, you can help me pay the rent for this headquarter. And if you want to do so, the best way to do this is via TipeeeStream. TipeeeStream is a service provider that helps me get all these donations, and it's better than the super chat on YouTube, because for the super chats, it means like Google will keep 30% of the money that you actually want to send me, right? And for TipeeeStream, the link down in the description of this video, Google does not get any money, but TipeeeStream will keep like 9%, and that's fair. So if you want to help me with rent of this place, then I would be very glad if you could use the TipeeeStream link and send over a donation and help to get this year from here to here. That would be amazing. And that would be fantastic. It's the rent for June already. The rent for June. If you could help me, if you enjoy unbiased and honest reviews, then this is the right channel. And if you want to support this, if you want to make sure that I can do this and keep this beautiful MRTV headquarter, then for each and every dollar, euro, or whatever you want to send over, I would be super, super grateful. And the link is down in the description. All right, before you start with your questions concerning the StarVR One, keep your questions. The StarVR One segment is going to be the second segment of the show tonight. The first segment are these here, the Etee controllers. Before we talk with Kuba, one of the developers, one of the Etee team, let me quickly tell you, for all of you who don't know yet what these are. These are new type of controllers, and what Etee wants to do, they want to bring your hands into virtual reality as easy as possible, and they want to do that by not overcomplicating it with buttons. Yes, you heard that right. This does not have any buttons. You would simply put this on like this, and then you're done. You don't have to learn about buttons. You just grab, or you point, or you do whatever you normally do. And this here is pressure sensitive. This is pressure sensitive, so you have very good hand tracking. So I've recently posted a video where I checked these out here, and I was super impressed because the finger tracking is so good, and each and every single finger is being perfectly tracked, and the pressure is measured by this kind of material. Can you see that? Yeah, here. This is some kind of rubbery material. So I was too loud here, right? So, and on the top here, you have a trackpad. So you can use this as an extra button, or you can choose something, and each finger, you can also use them as a button actually, right? So very exciting. The Kickstarter is on the best way to get funded, to get 100%. The link is down in the description below. So I like them. This is the 3DOF version, only 3 degrees of freedom, right? So I can only do these kind of things here, but not, these things are not being tracked. So that's why they have a Kickstarter campaign. Link is down in the description of this video. And they want to get the money for the 6 degrees of freedom version. And it's going to be super interesting. And all of your questions will be answered tonight by Kuba. And Kuba, again, is part of the team of these controllers. And I'm going to call him right now. And then we're going to have a little conversation about the Etee controllers. Let me get him on the line. Hello there.
Hello, hello.
I cannot see you yet.
Yep. Hello.
Yes, now I can see you. Hello, Kuba. How are you doing?
Hi, Sebastian. Very good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really good. I'm looking forward to find out more about the ET controllers. So, ET controllers. Tell us probably a bit more about these ET controllers. How did you have the idea or for these controllers? What do you want to achieve with these controllers?
Sure. So maybe before I answer that question, let me kind of give you a bit of background about the company. So the company has been founded in 2015 by a couple of students of RCA, Imperial College in London. And what we do is touch, gesture, and pressure sensing plastics.
Okay.
We do a lot of business in automotive where we create human machine interfaces, control surfaces like door handles, steering wheels, etc. So the thing that you may not realize about automotive is that your attention needs to be always on the road. So
Right.
you want to control a window, a mirror, kind of without sight. So
Right.
intuitively, you just want to control it. And we had some initial traction in automotive, and we figured, okay, but what's the next step? What do we really want to do with this technology? And we kind of asked ourselves a fundamental question: where do people control stuff sightlessly, without sight?
Without
And
looking at it. Okay.
exactly. And as you know, once you put on the head-mounted display on, your sight is essentially completely cut off. And we figured, hey, virtual reality. Let's figure that one out, and that's essentially the story of ET.
Wow, that's really interesting. So actually your company is doing this kind of rubber here, which is pressure sensitive. This is actually what your company is doing?
Yes. So we have a very healthy B2B business, and we, based on this technology, we create control devices, human-machine interfaces, broadly speaking, with partners. So
Okay.
let's say we could bring this technology in its current form factor to an existing HMD manufacturer, say, hey, let's work together, let's bundle this up. But also, if they don't like the form factor for whatever reason, we could build them a controller just from the ground up.
Got it. Very nice. So you thought, okay, where can you use this technology where people don't use sight? You thought about virtual reality, and then you started to develop these here, right?
Yes,
These are the ET controllers, and this is the 3 degrees of freedom version. So tell me about the form factor and what was your idea behind this kind of form factor?
sure. I joined the company in September, so I wasn't part of the full journey, but the idea was to really make the form simple, as unconfusing, unobtrusive as possible.
Okay.
So the feedback that we are receiving from the customers is that, let's say, the Valve Index or other controllers are either heavy or there's a lot of buttons, and especially for people that don't have a background in gaming, in console gaming especially, the whole kind of stick and button configuration with triggers can be a bit confusing. We are betting on the fact that as adoption of AR VR grows over the next couple of years, more casual users, more kind of non-gamer users will come into the space, and they will be looking for a simpler, more immersive experience as far as the controller goes.
That's cool. That's cool. Actually, I totally get what you're saying because I'm visiting lots of these VR expos, right? Where people go to these expos and then they try out VR probably for the first time, and putting on the headset is okay, but once it gets to the controllers, that's the complicated part. Like, okay, this is the Vive One. So, okay, here you have to press this and this button. You have to. This is the grip button. It's too overwhelming. It's too confusing, And that is really the one obstacle normally in these situations at these expos when people want to get into VR for the first time, that they're overwhelmed by all the buttons and by all the sticks, and this is the analog stick, and this is here, and this is that. It's too much. Not for us, right? The people are watching this. Yeah, okay, we are the enthusiasts, right? But the normal person, it is a bit too much. And then I'm thinking, if you just put on this here, and okay, your hands are now in VR, cool. I think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly it. I couldn't have put it better myself.
Man, I should work for you guys. so, but however, this is only the 3 degrees of freedom version, right?
Yeah.
So why did you start with this? Why didn't you directly go for 60 degrees of freedom?
So initially, this product or the 3D version was meant as a taster, as a dev kit, as a demo unit. So
Okay.
because we are working with B2B customers, there's a lot of confidentiality involved, NDAs and so forth. So when we build something for one customer, we can't really give that product to another customer. So
Right.
we needed something to show our customers. We brought this current 3D version to a lot of trade shows, CES, CTEC in Tokyo, and others, and the response was just overwhelming. As you
Okay.
people were really kind of mesmerized, wowed by the form factor. This is really cool. You used our demo UI. It's really simple, but just a very powerful experience. And based on that feedback, we said, hey, let's bring this technology to the market. So the development kit has been sold for the past year at least.
Oh,
And
really?
now,
Okay.
and so it's tested. The SteamVR version is kind of the next stage. We want to go to the community. We want to build a community to kind of incorporate their feedback, bring them on the journey. So like something innovative and
Okay.
let's
You are really right here because now you're speaking to the VR enthusiast community of the world. These people who are watching this right now, they are the enthusiasts. So they are going to have lots of questions. And let me just start to ask the questions, right? So
sure.
you want to make a 6 degrees of freedom version of this, and you have a Kickstarter. And if I pledge now to your Kickstarter, when am I going to get this 6 degrees of freedom Kickstarter model
Sure.
of the ET controllers?
It's my own personal goal and the team's personal goal to have the units in the hands of users by December. Initially, we were planning on October, November shipment, but due to the Corona situation, we pushed it back a month. But still, I am very confident. So
Okay.
we are not new to the game. We've developed products, brought them into manufacturing before, just for our B2B partners. I'm very confident that the team can deliver.
Okay, that's cool. So December 2020, right?
Yeah.
The year is very important.
Yes.
As we saw with Pimax, sometimes the year is going to change a bit. So 2020, December 2020. And well, how expensive is the 6 degrees of freedom version of these controllers?
Yes, so we are going for essentially price parity with the index, so it's 259 pounds, which I think is $320 or so.
Okay, got it. So, yeah, talking about the Valve Index controllers, the Valve Index controllers are amazing. I personally love the Valve Index controllers. So, what do you think? Is this something that is a real competition for the Valve Index controllers, or are you like aiming at something else? Please tell us a bit more about it.
Sure. So the company vision is technology for everyone. And that kind of drove the development of the product. So we want to be a more accessible, a more easy to use, a simpler, more immersive experience for the broad general public. So if you only game and if you only play shooters, the Valve Index is likely a better controller.
Okay.
I don't want to kind of say that, oh, ET is the best thing since sliced bread. But if you are, let's say, playing more social experiences like fitness, I don't know, maybe dance, performance art, trade shows, telepresence, home working, stuff like that, where
Okay.
those buttons are, as you say, are confusing, I think ET is the ideal choice.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like having them on my hand right now, I could totally agree. Like if there are definitely games where you don't really need so many buttons, right? Like for example, I'm just thinking of Beat Saber,
Hmm.
right? Beat Saber. Okay, actually you have these in your hands and you simply slice away and you don't really need to click something, right? That's perfect.
So I would like to clarify one thing because, like, saying that we don't have buttons maybe gives your viewers and your audience the wrong idea. Although there are no physical buttons, there are control surfaces and ways to control games. So there is a thumb pad on top of the controller. You have full five-finger tracking, uh, sensing. The LED button is actually a sensor, and we will be splitting it into two buttons or two sensors. So we are achieving control or button parity with the HTC Vive ones, and getting close to the Valve Index.
So this here, this is an LED, right? It can change the color. This is also a sensor. What kind of sensor is that?
It's a proximity sensor. And we will split that in two. So either you will have two buttons or two sensors, or a slider like volume control or something to that effect.
Okay, got it. All right. Oh, that's interesting. Proximity sensor, nice. So you will be able to click the button, or it's simply like proximity of your thumb, or what is it going to be?
It's not clickable. It is.
Okay.
It registers as a button press.
Okay, got it. And also you have some feedback, some haptic feedback. I feel it now. Like the more I press, the stronger is the haptic feedback. The how you call it, vibration or?
Yes.
Vibration, right? Just vibration.
So it is a haptic engine, yeah.
It's a haptic engine. Cool. So that's interesting. So actually you have button parity with the Vive wands.
Yes.
But so how would you do it? Like what is for example the grip?
So
just the whole thing, or what?
It's hard for me to kind of explain without a picture, but
yeah.
So for instance, the movement of the trigger, which is a common kind of comment that I'm hearing, the trigger is just your movement of your finger.
Okay, like this, yeah. So right,
exactly.
This is trigger. Okay, that makes sense.
And then you have the trackpad up top is just a trackpad. It detects one click and also potentially double click.
Okay, yeah,
then
that makes sense.
The LED sensor is the LED sensor. As I said, it will be split into two.
Okay.
You have individual 4-finger sensing. You have three gestures pre-baked into firmware, which is point, pinch, and squeeze.
Okay, yeah.
And what the HTC Vive or the Valve Index doesn't do is quite advanced pressure sensing. So we have 100 Z units of pressure, which kind of unlocks new ways of interaction.
Okay.
This technology is fairly new, so developers still don't know about it, but we are prepared to work with them and bring that technology to them.
Right, I get it. So if you really would want to use this kind of pressure sensitivity, then new apps or new games would have to be made just for this. But since it's like compatible with or like feature has the same buttons as the Vive wands, actually people could play all of the old games, right, if they wanted to.
Absolutely. So we are developing drivers and UIs for Steamvr. So we will be providing full backwards compatibility. Forwards compatibility is to an extent assured. If some games for whatever reason have bugs, our team will kind of figure it out and fix it. But we support the Steamvr skeletal hand model, so there is full compatibility with the Valve Index and other Steamvr controllers.
Okay, that's great. So let's say I back them now, and then I'm going to get them in December. How is it going to actually work? So I'm going to, I have to pair them in Steamvr with my headset, like I would normally pair my Valve Index controller with the headset, I believe?
Yes, it's essentially
just the same thing?
It's plug and play. Drivers are being developed. You will have a separate icon in Steamvr for Etee. You need to connect the dongle either to a USB hub or to your headset. And it doesn't work flawlessly yet, but our intention is to be completely kind of seamless experience.
Okay, so let's say I do start a game. I start Beat Saber. Okay, in Beat Saber you don't really need button presses. Let's say I start Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah.
There are some button presses, right? Like for example, you want to get rid of the magazine and these kind of things. You want to start the menu and stuff. Will I have to go and remap them onto the Valve controller, or are you going to do that and it just works?
Excellent question. So we are committed to delivering our suggested bindings that, in our view, provide you with the best experience. But if you don't like it for whatever reason, want more sensitivity, different gestures, you can do that yourself.
Okay, so you are going to provide the bindings for the games already, for the most important games?
Yeah. If you look in Steamvr, actually, we already are providing bindings for Gravity Sketch. There are templates there that we use to record a bunch of our videos. So yeah, we will be providing those bindings.
Okay, cool. That sounds really interesting then. I think they are really, they are very good in your hand. They are easy to hold because they are there just like this, right? You don't have to do anything. That's really cool, and they are very light. So that's going to be interesting. So anyways, but I have another question for you. These are the 3DOF version, and I'm wondering about the 6DOF version. They will look different, right? Because you need to have all the sensors. How is this going to look like?
So the core of the device will be the same.
Okay, this is going to be the same here, this part.
Essentially the same. So at the top, you will have like a constellation of SteamVR, like a half moon shape. I think it's better explained on the Kickstarter page.
Okay.
But yeah, it's going to be detachable, which is an interesting advantage. So you will be able to kind of undetach it, unlock it, and let's say for transportation, pack it away.
Okay, you know what? Let me just go to your Kickstarter now. Okay, you don't see this right now, but I'm going to have a look. So we can see this the 6DOF version there on your Kickstarter.
Yes, we weren't.
Here.
We weren't...
Okay, here. Yes, I saw it. Yeah. So okay. So actually, what I could do right now, I could already put the tracker here, the SteamVR tracker. I could put it here. I didn't try this yet because I think it's not a great solution, right? It's big and stuff, so I didn't actually do that. Probably I could try as well. But what you actually want to do is this here, Etee SteamVR. So it's actually exactly the same thing, but you have your own kind of tracker there.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
We are developing it from scratch. We are working with Triad Semiconductors, which are essentially the vendors for the tracking and the sensors. So it's all kind of approved and working, but it's still very much work in progress. But as I said, we will be ready for December.
Right. Okay, I got it. That's interesting. But isn't it very complicated to build something like a SteamVR tracker? It sounds, you make it sound so easy, but well, it's lasers.
It's not easy. The tracking component was in various stages of development for a year.
Okay, got it.
But so it's a fairly technical question. I don't know the details, but Valve updated the sensing or the tracking from one version to the next. We were ready to actually launch the product the year previous, but because of that change, we were working for the updated dev kits and to supporting base stations version 2.
Okay, got it. So I just see a question from the audience. Will it be compatible with Windows Mixed Reality? I suppose the answer is no.
So let me kind of flip the question. So our tracking ecosystem is SteamVR. We use base stations for SteamVR. I know that these two ecosystems are intercompatible. So as long as you have lighthouses and base stations, you should be good to go. But that's on my kind of layman's understanding of the.
No, yeah, you can, exactly. If you do have the base stations, then you can also use the SteamVR controllers for Windows Mixed Reality. You have to use some extra software to kind of map it. It's something that you have to set up. It's not out of the box. It's some kind of hack. But yes, you can do that. If you want, you can do that.
And just maybe to kind of make another point, as I said at the beginning, we are open to working with all HMD manufacturers. So we don't compete with them because we don't have our own headset. So we are kind of at the Switzerland of VR. We can build and we can incorporate with anyone. So Windows Mixed Reality obviously is a huge kind of goal for me.
Okay, cool, very cool, nice. I'm really looking forward to this. I really think that this can be, for some games, this can be a fantastic alternative for the Valve Index controllers. And also, actually, not only for games. I really think this is also really very usable for other applications, like enterprise, like expos, these kind of things, where you just want to get people into VR as fast as possible. The social experiences, right? Where it's just about like having the fingers in VR. And I think that might be really exciting. Cool, super exciting, Kuba. Let's see if we can find some more questions from the community, guys.
Sure.
Guys, do you have any more questions for Kuba, who is working with TG0, the company behind the Etee controllers. And you guys are based in London, right?
Yes, absolutely. So
very nice, amazing city, but don't go out.
Sure.
But where's your office in London?
In Clapham.
Okay.
Not sure if you're familiar,
I've heard
but
about it.
Quite central, yeah.
Okay, nice. Battery life. Bernard Cozier asks battery life. How's the battery life of this? And how do you charge them?
Yes, so this one you have now is mini USB, but the
Right.
final version will be USB-C. Battery life is up to 6 hours, and standby is 14 hours.
Okay, so 6 hours
And-
you can actually play.
Yes, and charging time from empty to full is 40 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So you got cold yogurt through his knuckle controllers across the room. Can you do that with Etee? How? Yeah, that's a good question, right? How stable are them? If I like smash them now against the wall, what's going to happen?
So, excellent question. They are quite robust, but smashing them against the wall obviously may cause critical damage.
Sounds logic, yeah.
The tube in of itself, the rubbery tube is very robust. It's really hard to break it. The handle can be 3D printed. So if you break it, we will release a step file. You can 3D print it. You can exchange it. The Steamvr tracker will also be quite robust and detachable. So if you break it, we will be able to sell you a replacement and potentially take back the broken part for recycling. But that's something like work in progress. I don't want to commit to it just yet.
Okay, another question that's now coming up for myself. How about sweat proofing them? Are they sweat proof? It seems well they are like rubber, right? So how about if I sweat really strong, which I do sometimes?
Yes, so that's one of my or the controller's biggest advantages that I try to evangelize. From what I understand, the valve index have a limitation that when your hand sweats, it does interfere with the finger sensing.
Okay.
So our Etee is a completely seamless surface. So there's very little gaps there because of the lack of sticks and lack of buttons. Sweat and water and dust can't really permeate inside the device. So it's quite robust in that way. Another aspect of our technology is that because it's based on kind of machine learning and other algorithms, we can do baselining. So we calibrate the device and we can account for difference of pressure, sweat, and even damage to the surface. So let's say if you were to cut it with a ring or a knife, even whatever, as long as the damage isn't kind of completely critical, if the sensing surface is still there, the controller will work. So sweat doesn't affect it.
Okay, that's good news. That's really good news because, yeah, some people sweat a lot when they really are into Beat Saber or what. So this is not going to be a problem. Mango asks, could you ask, will there be a solution to charge the controllers during use? So probably some battery pack or something.
Battery pack, we haven't really considered. I think it's an excellent question. We could do an extended kind of battery. We will be offering a charging dock down the line. That's something that we are considering.
Okay, good. Can I use Etee with Oculus Quest and Steamvr tracker?
Again, it's probably a hack. So my dream is to be able to natively support Oculus, both Rift and Quest. But for that, I need cooperation from Oculus. That hasn't happened yet.
Oculus, if you're watching this, get in touch with this man. This man here. He has this here. Yeah, it's not easy for normal people to reach Oculus, right? Even myself, yeah. I don't really have so much contact with them.
Exactly.
So it's not so easy. Okay, cool. Do you have any more questions about the Etee controllers here? Please do let us know in the chat. This is a live stream. Okay, Angelo asks, can I use 4 Etees to track my hands and feet?
Interesting question, and I was thinking about it. I think yesterday. Absolutely. So because we are developing our own tracker, so essentially you could
just like any tracker.
Exactly. I'm not sure how Steamvr would detect 4 controllers, but if it's a feature requested by the VR chat community, I'm sure we can do that.
Oh yeah, right. For the VR chat community, right? They also want to have like their feed tracked, but then probably they can just get two SteamVR trackers and two Etee controllers. That would make more sense, I believe, right?
Yeah, but I think in principle, in theory, that's possible.
Okay, good. Yeah. So Skid Row says make them bigger. Yeah. Do they fit to all people? So my hands are actually quite big, and
Yes.
I have no problems. But tell me about what about people with small hands, like people who have small hands?
So we account, based on our ergonomic research, we account for about 90% of the adult population. If you are a
Okay.
kid, you have extremely small hands, you will have a difficult time. You still can do it. Through the calibration process that I described earlier, it will work, but the finger sensing may be a bit not reliable. But adult woman or man won't have a problem.
Okay, good. The VR realm. One of the offers for the first 200 backers is engraved numbered controllers for the backer number. Does this include the Ghost controller design?
Not yet, but if it's something that is kind of asked by the community, we can do that. So I haven't checked.
What is the Ghost controller design?
Excellent question. So we are going for the kind of Xbox Crystal look,
Okay.
so you see through the plastic and you see the PCB, you see the kind of sensors.
Okay, like Crystal Pepsi just for controllers.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. That's interesting. That's interesting. Oh, you have lots of ideas for these controllers. Nice. And yeah, okay. Skid Row says feel like it should be 1 centimeter longer. Well, I don't. I think for my feeling, I didn't really have problems. Here, look at this. Not this part. This part is really just for them to stick to your hands, right? This part. This is the part that's important. Yeah, and like I have quite big hands, and for me it's like this.
So, Sebastian, and for the chat, the handle is completely irrelevant to the sensing. If you break
Right.
it off or lose it, whatever.
You can replace it like cheaply, probably.
Exactly. So the whole sensing mechanism is inside the handle. And just from my experience, and I've demoed them across the world on various trade shows, Sebastian, you have very large hands. Typically people are quite fine with the size as it is.
Okay, got it. Okay, good to know. And Madness Fire from Dortmund. Hi, from Dortmund to Dortmund. Nice. You should come over to the MRTV experience once Corona is gone and check out all the VR headsets and the Etee controllers. Hopefully the 6DF version very soon, because that is something that I very much look forward to. I can really see myself use that in games where I don't have these lots of button presses. Like especially yeah, Beat Saber or even Pistol Whip, something where you only have to shoot is also possible, right? So
Yeah.
I really want to see how well that works actually in games. So, but you said I could actually already try it if I just put the tracker there, and probably you should do like the bindings for 1 or 2 games. Probably, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
You already
So,
you have the binding for Alex.
yes, so we are recording content at the moment. Tomorrow we will release another Half-Life Alyx video. So Mick is the one doing that. It still requires some kind of tinkering. So
Okay.
it's not exactly plug and play, but it is doable.
Okay, cool. Very, very nice. Do we have more questions from the community? Please, now is your chance to ask all your questions before you give all your money to these guys. So now we can totally ask the question here. So take the chance and check out the Kickstarter campaign. The link is down in the description. I think you need like a couple of more of them sold to reach your goal. Let's see how much do you have right now. You have 186 backers. Oh yeah, you're very close. You're very close. Look at this. You have already 49,120 and you want to get to 52,000 euros. So you have 186 backers. Yeah, perfect. And 29 days to go. It seems like you're going to make it happen, which is pretty cool. But with this kind of money, is it really enough to do something like this? Because like hardware is like hard, right? It's expensive to build these, and especially if you build it for 200 people. How can you make this happen with this kind of money?
Yeah, it's so initially our goal was 300K, and we were thinking, okay, should we actually do this? People should be focusing on their families now, loved ones. So we didn't want to push it. We didn't want to be in this situation where we need to kind of hard sell and ask people for their money during this difficult time. So we reduced the goal to 50K pounds, and we set ourselves a minimum target. So
Okay.
for us, it's more about building a community.
Okay.
We want to invite people like you, tech enthusiasts, visionaries that see the potential and want to be part of the journey, want to influence the direction of the development of the product. And it's really not about the money as much as that kind of initial traction, market awareness.
Got it. So it's probably that money is not really enough, right? But you're building a community, you're getting the word out, you're speaking to the hardcore VR enthusiast community right now.
Yeah.
So these kind of things will really help, right?
Yeah.
Escosid asks, what would the warranty be? That's a good question, right? Probably somebody does smash it against the wall on the first day. What's going to happen?
Well, I'm not prepared to talk about warranty. We will just do the usual EU warranty. I think it's like 1 year warranty. We are thinking of doing like an Apple health or so Apple kind of repair service where you kind of pay a subscription fee and no questions asked. We replace the controller. We realize that VR is a very kind of intense activity and things break. So that's a solution that we are considering.
Right. Then we have a very interesting question from Darren. Darren says Oculus is going to make hand tracking even better with the cameras, right? You don't even need any kind of controller. So doesn't this make it obsolete before it even comes out? That's a good question, though.
Yes, it's a good question and a very common question. So we've done our homework. As you know, I'm actually an Oculus user myself. So you are limited to only the camera field of view when using Oculus. And if you kind of pay attention on a day-to-day basis, how do you interact with the world around you with your hands? Very rarely do you actually look at your hands. You use the mouse, use your keyboard, play games, fitness, art, dance, guitar playing. It's all done without sight. So that's the kind of level of immersion that we are offering. You can move your hands completely freely. You can do gestures. You can do pressure sensing. So complete freedom of movement, which Oculus doesn't deliver. I believe that they'll get there eventually, but it's still very much limited.
Yeah. Also, I think sometimes it's nice if you have something in your hand, right?
Exactly,
I mean, that's what she said, but in general, in general, I think it's nice to have some kind of feedback.
Absolutely.
Right?
So a common concern or a common kind of comment from the community is that we don't have a physical trigger.
Right.
Oculus doesn't have a physical trigger. We kind of provide you with this kind of bridging technology between existing controllers and camera tracking. And I think it's a good kind of middle ground.
Okay, cool. That's really good. Let's see if we do have some more questions. Okay, somebody says, Madness Fire says, injection molding is pretty expensive. Hope you'll make it. What was the answer on the Ghost? He said yes, if they want to have it, right? Then you will also put some numbers on the Ghosts.
Yeah. It's already quite special, but I haven't checked. I think it's 5 or 10 units. So we can make it kind of more limited and put a number on it. That's not a problem.
Yes. Twilar says, would the tracking be through some sort of extra sensors? We have answered that before. It's some kind of tracker that they built themselves, which does not look as big as the tracker from Vive HTC.
Yes, yeah. It's much lighter. It's designed in-house, but with components provided by an approved vendor, Triad Semiconductors.
Right. Cool. If you have any more questions, now is your time, because we're getting to the end of this segment. And yeah, Ming Kong says going for the retro look. He's working together with you, right, Ming Kong?
Yeah. So he's the CEO.
Okay. Hello, Ming Kong. Nice to meet you here. Cool. And you're all based. Is the whole team based in London?
Yes, everyone. So at the moment we are 20 people. self-isolating, working from home, but business as usual.
Okay, got it. Very good. Cool. I think we got all the questions now. If you got any more questions, now is really the last chance. But anyways, you will also answer questions on the Kickstarter, right? If somebody has a question, you can simply go to the Kickstarter campaign. You can simply leave all your questions there, and then your team is going to answer those questions.
Absolutely. I'm active on Discord, on Reddit, on Twitter, on Kickstarter, obviously. So just shoot me a question, and I'm happy to answer.
Perfect. Kuba, I think we have answered all the questions, and I think this was a really super exciting and interesting section of the show today. I'm wishing you all the best for the Etee controllers. I hope I could help somehow putting the word out here for the Etee controllers, and for all the people who are watching this right now and who want to support such a cool Kickstarter. Please go to the link down in the description below. The Etee Kickstarter is still live for 20 days or so, and support this. If you want a controller that you can simply put on like this, doesn't have any buttons, and makes life easier to get into VR.
Thanks, Sebastian. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome. Kuba, see you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yep, that was Kuba Kametsky from the TG0 team. I really hope that you enjoyed this segment. I know that you guys want to know more about the StarVR One, and we're going to get to that now. But anyways, I think this was super exciting. These are the Etee controllers, the 3DOF version, and again, the link to the Kickstarter is down in the description below. I think we should support these innovative VR concepts, new VR controllers, amazing. Cool. I'm really glad that I could help a bit, hopefully. So all the best from MRTV to the Etee team. All right. Before we now go to the next and super exciting section about the StarVR One, I need to make a very short break, probably 2 minutes. And let me find a short song. See you in 2 minutes time. All right, wait a moment. I'll be back in a moment. Just let me put this here. And we're back. Yes. Okay. Hello there. Let's start with the second segment of the show, talking about the StarVR One and also talking about how does it compare with the Pimax 8K X. It's going to be very, very interesting, and I believe you're going to enjoy this segment a lot. Lots of interesting information that I'm going to bring you, and yeah, looking forward to that. Again, a little reminder, if you like my unbiased and honest reporting about the VR industry, then support this channel by sending over a donation. The link is down in the description of this video, and every single euro goes toward this year, bringing this from 0 to hopefully 100% at one moment in time. This is the rent for the rent for next month. And yeah, that would be a big help. Every single euro goes into sustaining this channel so I can keep on reporting, keep on bringing you unbiased and honest reviews. So definitely I would be very, very happy about any kind of donation that goes into the rent for this headquarter. All right, but now let's start with talking about the StarVR One. For all of you who don't know yet what the StarVR One is, the StarVR One is a VR headset, a new VR headset that was supposed to come to the market already in the beginning of 2019. And this did not happen. The StarVR One is a project by two companies, Acer from Taiwan and Starbreeze from Sweden. And they formed this StarVR One, the new company. Unfortunately, just around the time that the StarVR One was supposed to launch, Starbreeze got into financial difficulties and they had to fold. And they had to stop with this project. And then unfortunately, because of that, the StarVR One headset was not launched. And until now, we didn't really get any further information. But then, 2 days ago, I got a message from the StarVR One headquarter in Taipei, Taiwan, and the message was, Sebastian, we are back. And they were very happy about it, and they told me that now people can actually purchase the device and that the purchase tab is now ready on the StarVR One website on starvr.com. Wow, that was really, really super exciting because the StarVR One was a headset that had completely fascinated me and all of the VR enthusiast community actually because of its super nice, super wide field of view and because of that super special OLED screen with RGB stripe matrix. But I'm going to get into the details of the headset in a moment. So of course, we are all really happy that the StarVR One is actually going to launch and actually has launched now, and people can make inquiries for the device and people can get it through the distributors in certain regions. So that is really fantastic that actually they do launch now. Yeah, so let's get into the details of the device. So I did actually make a video about my first StarVR One test when I was at the IFA exposition in Berlin. And you can all watch this video. It's like a 20-minute video where I give you the highlights of my hands-on with the StarVR One. I don't want to show it to you now. Simply check it out on YouTube. Look for StarVR MRTV, and then you're going to find my first impressions. I can just tell you, I was blown away by it. I was completely blown away by the device. And now, let me tell you why I was blown away by the device. First of all, StarVR, they claim an FOV of 210 degrees horizontal and 130 degrees vertical. And they say 100% human vision FOV achieved. And I can tell you, they are not bullshitting here. It is actually true. So when I was wearing the device, I was actually shocked how good the FOV is. And you don't see anymore the black stuff on the right that you see with most other headsets, right? Because at one point in time, your FOV will stop in the current headset, and then you will simply see black, right? But for the StarVR One, everything is basically screen. It's shocking when you put on the headset for the first time, especially taking into consideration that the StarVR One is not a huge headset. So if you put it next to a Pimax, actually it doesn't look like super huge. It doesn't even look bigger than the Pimax, which is really, really super surprising when you think about that huge FOV. So yes, the FOV claim of 210 degrees is actually truth. It's not a lie. It is actually true. They have a huge FOV, and they say it's 210 degrees, right, horizontal, which is like a huge difference as compared to all the other headset companies, because they normally will tell you their FOV in diagonal. So for example, the 200 degrees from Pimax, it's 200 degrees diagonal FOV, right? So probably in horizontal, it's more like 180 or 170-ish. So this is truly amazing. It's really 210 degrees, and it's actually really achieved. So this is not just marketing blah blah. This actually is true, and I was shocked how amazing that FOV looked. So please do watch my video about the StarVR One when I check it out in Berlin. The FOV is really crazy. Then, normally, if you have these super wide FOV headsets, normally the one problem that you will run into are distortions, right? I told you about distortions on the other headsets, on the Pimax headsets, and X-Tal headsets, all the wide FOV headsets, they have to fight with these kind of distortion problems in the outer peripheral areas. So, in my time with the StarVR One, I did not see any distortions. It was kind of fascinating to me that I didn't see any distortions for the StarVR One. But I must also tell you that this was a demo situation, right? It was like content that they gave me that I could check out. So probably it could be that it was just the most amazing content where I simply couldn't see the FOV. So I could not freely, where I simply couldn't see any distortions. So I could not freely try out any kind of software. This is what I do here at the MRTV headquarters, right? So when I have the headsets here, I can put on the ROV testing environment, right, with the grids, where you can absolutely clearly see any kind of distortion. That's what I did with the 8KX. You can remember my video about it, right? So I did not do that. I could not test that. So it is still a difference of seeing the perfect demo as compared to having the StarVR One here at the MRTV headquarters and really putting it through its paces. So that's a little disclaimer that I have to tell you. In that 1 hour demo that I got at the expo, I could not see any kind of distortions. Anyways, I tried to see the distortions. So there was like one moment where I was sitting in a car and I was looking around me and I was like shaking my head in order to see the distortion. And I was looking at the edges and trying to see the distortions, but I could not see the distortions. And actually, I'm very sensitive to distortions. I can see distortions quite well in general. So I could not see the distortions. And at that moment in time, I told them, hey guys, your distortion profiles are pretty cool, right? Your distortion profiles are pretty amazing. And I asked them, like, how did you solve this problem of distortions? Because the other companies, they are still like fighting against it, right? They also make big advantages. They already have progress, right? Like Pimax, they have really big progress on the distortions as well, but it's not gone. So I asked them this question, and they said, like, actually, it's part of the trick or part of the magic is that they have eye tracking, and with this eye tracking, they can first of all make a distortion profile that exactly fits your IPD. This is like one important part of the thing, and they also know where you're looking at. So they can really give you the perfect distortion profile that is fighting those distortions. And I can tell you, the distortions, I couldn't see them. I absolutely couldn't see them. So that part is like a big plus in direct comparison with the Pimax headsets, or also with the X-Tal headset, actually against all the other wide FOV headsets. The widest FOV that I've ever seen in any VR headset until now, without distortions. Wow, really pretty amazing. Dear Smoot47, I'm talking about my experiences with the device when I tried it, like in Berlin at the IFA. So these are more than a year ago, and everything is coming now from my memory. Therefore, I absolutely need to give you. I can only tell you about my experiences from that demo. I cannot tell you about any changes that they made now, but at that time it was really amazing as what the FOV and as what the distortions are concerned, and I think they didn't get worse in that extra year that they had. Okay, so that's the part about the FOV. Now let's talk about another part of the headset, and okay, let's talk about the display and the picture quality. So these are custom-made OLED panels. OLED panels, of course, OLED panels are really amazing because you have these real blacks, real dark blacks. Like black is really zero, there's black. And it's a big advantage over LCD displays, which are normally more grayish because you still have that backlight, right, for LCD displays. But for OLEDs, you can totally turn them off, and therefore the blacks are amazing. And also, as far as the colors are concerned, they were amazing. They were simply OLED colors. They were like intensive, really popping, and I loved the colors. When I saw the colors over the huge FOV, there was something pretty amazing. That was truly, truly good, and definitely better than all the LCD panels, all the LCD panels that are on the market right now. So OLED really is an amazing display technology for VR, and I recently tried out all the current VR headsets that are on the market, right, in order to play Half-Life Alyx, and I played all the LC display headsets, Pimax 8KX, Valve Index, Rift S, and thank you so much, Duked. Thank you so much for 100 Swedish crowns, man. Thank you so much. Happy Easter to you too, to Sweden. Yeah, so if you want your donations to run against this bar here, you have to use Tippy Stream though. The link is down in the description of this video. Yeah, so when I was using all the different headsets in order to play Half-Life Alyx, I got back to the Samsung Odyssey Plus. And yeah, I was again, like I was amazed how amazing the colors look and how awesome the blacks are in comparison to the LC displays. So OLED is really good. And these displays that are made for the StarVR One, they are custom made for VR. So this is amazing. Thank you so much, Ricardo. Thank you so much, Ricardo Rodriguez, for donating €5 and €5 paid for rent of June. Thank you so much, man. Amazing. Yeah, right. So these displays are custom made for VR. That's a really huge difference as compared to other companies. Other companies are sourcing the displays from the open market. So they're looking at the market, they check out, okay, what kind of displays are there on the market for phones, for example, or in general that have the right size, and then they buy them. But for the StarVR displays, for these displays, they were custom made for VR, and you can tell it looks simply amazing. And those displays, they are RGB stripe matrix displays. And that's really seldom. Normally with OLED, you have that pentile matrix displays, which means you have only 2 subpixels for each pixels. For the StarVR One, you have a full RGB stripe matrix display, something that you normally only see with LC displays. So for each and every single pixel, you have 3 subpixels, and that's something that you don't have with the Samsung Odyssey Plus. That's something that you don't have with the Vive Pro, and that's something that you don't have with the Oculus Quest. So that is kind of impressive for a VR headset. Another VR headset that also has an OLED display and an RGB stripe matrix is the Psvr. Yes, the more than 3 years old Psvr also has an RGB stripe OLED display. And that's why even with the low resolution of the Psvr, it has 1080 times 960 pixels per eye, the Psvr, you still barely see any kind of screen door effect. Thank you, you got cold yogurt, €9. Thank you so much. And we're at 1%. Yes! That is amazing. Thank you so much, you got cold yogurt. So the Psvr, the old Psvr, still amazing. And with the Psvr, you can hardly see screen door effect. And that's why, and because you have like these RGB stripe matrix OLED display. Anyways, let's talk about the resolution of the StarVR One. And that is actually not so impressive. We have a resolution of 1830 times 1464 pixels per eye. 1830 times 1464 pixels per eye. And that is more than Index, that is more than Cosmos, that is more than Pimax Audison, that is more than Oculus Quest, Rift S, and so on and so forth. But this resolution is spread over quite a huge FOV, the biggest FOV in town. So that is why I would say that the resolution of the StarVR One is not so impressive. But still, they have a full RGB stripe matrix. So if you ask me now, and I'm sure you want to ask me, tell me, Sebastian, how is the screen door effect? Is it visible? Can you see individual pixels? How does it compare to Pimax 8KX? Then I would say that the Pimax 8KX and the Pimax 8K Plus definitely have less screen door effect. The Pimax 8KX and the Pimax 8K Plus have less screen door effect than the StarVR One. And if you really try to find the pixels and try to find the screen door effect, if you really try to find it, you will find it with the StarVR One. Yes, this is something that I must very clearly tell you here as someone who has already tried all the headsets. So yes, simply think about it. Like, they have a good resolution. It's like spread over a big FOV, and therefore, like, the pixel density, it cannot compare to something like the Pimax 8KX. Right. Keep your questions. I'm still in my monologue phase. And I'm going to go through my monologue phase, and then I'm going to take your questions. So keep your questions. Anyways, but how does it look like, the display? How does the display look like? And I can tell you this display looks amazing. So it's not just about resolution. For a beautiful VR picture, it's about resolution, of course. It's about the display pixel technology that is being used. RGB stripe is amazing. And it's about the lenses and the optics. So this makes a huge part. It's not only about the pixel density. It's also really about the lenses. And the lenses are goddamn impressive. I was really impressed how evenly they would spread the picture over the whole field of view without really like seeing these kind of distortions that you see with other headsets. So that was impressive. The lenses are also, of course, they are custom made for this headset, and they are able to spread the picture over the whole field of view like in a really nice uniform way. So picture quality is not just the display, it's not just the resolution, right? And for this headset, so many things are coming together that the picture quality that you will see then is just impressive. It's simply an impressive picture that you see. The colors are amazing, the huge field of view, which is not distorted, the nice lenses, and the resolution, which is not impressive as compared to others, but which is like good enough. I can tell you it looks better than the Vive Pro. It looks better than the Samsung Odyssey Plus. It looks better than the Quest in terms of clarity. And like comparing it to the Index, I would say it's like it's getting there. Okay, everything I'm telling you right now is from my memory, right? And at that time when I was trying the device, there was no Index yet, right? But from my memory, I can tell you that it was comparable to the Index. I'm not 100% sure if it reached the Index, but it was very comparable. So think about that, like close to Index picture, close to Index clarity with OLED, but on a huge FOV where you only see screen. You only see screen. There's no more black. The only black thing that I could see was in the nose area, and that was probably my nose. Cheers on that. Norman Robinson, yes, in my demo, I think they had 2 graphics cards. I think probably it's in the video too. They had 2 setups. On one setup, there was only 1 graphics card, but that was like a quadro. And on the other one, there were 2 2080 Ti. Yes, that was a setup. They had like 2 computers. Hello, Trevor. Hello, guys. So let's keep on talking about the displays looked really good. The displays look really good, but in terms of resolution, it cannot compare anymore against the Pimax 8K X. Right, this is something important to say. All right. Yes, then they have Tobii eye tracking. I told you about it. And because of the Tobii eye tracking, they can do dynamic foveated rendering. And they have fully implemented dynamic foveated rendering. That means, like, if you turn it on, the part where you look at, this part is going to be like rendered at the full resolution, and the peripheral part does not need to be rendered in the full resolution. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for.
My name's Scott Bradford.
Oh, we have
19,
video.
I'm gonna be 20 like December.
Oh, with video. Thank you so much. And that was, let me just have a look at the dashboard. Recycle, 10 euros with fee. The Scoop. Hope we get some good stuff like this for cheaper. Recycle, thank you so much for your 10 euro. And because of your 10 euro, this now went from 1 to 2%. Thank you. Thank you so much for this. Yes. That's good. You can send, if you send at least 5 euros, then you can put your own videos here. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so dynamic foveated rendering, you can, you can simply save resources by turning it on, and they showed it to me. I couldn't see any difference when they put it on. When they turned on dynamic foveated rendering, everything still looked good because, well, the place where I looked at was always very sharp, right? So that was pretty amazing, and then they can save some resources. So that was pretty good. do you think it's worth $3,200? Well, that was the price, $3,200. That was the price like when they want to start with the developer version. I don't know yet. Is it still the same price? I have not found out yet. Do I think it's worth the money? Yes, I absolutely think it's worth the money. It's just like it was the most amazing thing that I saw in VR yet. But now, okay, now my dear friends, now the most important part of this stream is going to come up right now. So are you ready? Are you ready for the most important part of this stream? I need to get a very important message across here right now. So I really hope that you're ready, because I want to tell you, be cautious. Do not order the StarVR One right now if you're not a developer, if you're not an enterprise customer, if you are a VR enthusiast, they want to play sim games, they want to play Alex with 210 degrees, do not buy this device now, because we simply have too little information right now. We do not know if the device is compatible with all the Steamvr games out of the box. We don't know that yet. When I was there, when I tried the device, I asked this question very specifically. Can this play all Steamvr games out of the box? And they tried to dodge the question. They did not answer this question very clearly. And I believe the reason for this is because the answer is actually no at that time. Because the thing is, the StarVR One is very special. The StarVR One has this huge field of view, right? And in order to make this happen, actually, it uses not 2 viewports when the picture is being rendered, but 4 viewports in order to make this happen. So this is a bit complicated. This is a bit more a technical thing to understand. So for the normal VR headsets that you and me are using right now, for our Index, for the Pimax even, only 2 viewports need to be rendered. 2 VR cameras, right? For the left eye and for the right eye. And for our normal headsets, that is perfectly fine. But for the StarVR One, to really make use of the huge field of view, when you're programming your content, you will need 4 viewports. You have to program 4 viewports. So let me show you that on a website, how that looks like. One moment. So here, this is what you see right now. Here are the 4 viewports of the StarVR One. So here is a viewport for the side, here's another viewport for the side, and here are the 2 normal viewports for seeing things in front of you. And 4 viewports are not normal. 2 viewports are normal. 2 viewports is what we have with all of our headsets right now. And if you want to really use the StarVR One 210 degrees, then you need to render 4 viewports. But none of the VR games that we're playing right now is programmed in a way to use 4 viewports. And that's why, if you would have to completely rebuild the game and probably include the StarVR One SDK in order to make this compatible, right? So this is just a huge but. This is a huge but that I have to tell you about. We are not sure yet if the StarVR One is actually compatible with all the Steamvr games. So I would say at this moment in time, do not buy the StarVR One until you get the full MRTV review. If you're not a content creator, and if you don't want to have the StarVR One for your StarVR, for your VR, I don't know, whatever you want to do, for your VR showcase, for your VR scooter ride or whatever, and if you don't make the content yourself with those 4 viewports, but if you only want to play games, at this moment in time, do not just buy the StarVR One just yet, because you might in for a surprise, a negative one. Thank you so much. Planet VR, thank you so much, Planet VR, $4 or $5. And also thank you so much for Chris Benson. Man, thank you so much. 20 euros with fees. That's incredible. Thank you so much. And Chris Benson says, appreciate your hard work and honest, independent reviews. Thank you so much. And that's exactly what I want to be known for. That's exactly what I want this channel to be known for. MRTV bring you honest and unbiased reviews. Just telling you how it is for all the headsets. Just giving it to you straight. And yes, 4% of the rent have already been paid. Thank you so much for your support. So, 4 viewports, right? So the thing is, it could be that StarVR found an amazing way to build some kind of tool to make all the Steamvr games compatible with the StarVR out of the box, right? They might have some cool extra software, something like a software that you need to run next to Steamvr that would make those games that are programmed for 2 viewports compatible with that huge FOV, right? This might be actually be the case. But then probably what I think right now, everything that I say right now is an assumption, right? So then they would need to take the 2 viewports that all the games are being used at right now, and then it would need to stretch them over the whole FOV, right? And then probably the picture would not look so good anymore. So that's one problem. Also, another problem that we would have with stretching these 2 viewports would be that you lose the binocular overlap. Here, binocular overlap is actually the part here where those viewports actually overlap. And for the 110 degrees headsets, like what Rift S and so on and so forth, this binocular overlap actually is pretty big. And that's why you have this beautiful, better 3D vision. Because the binocular overlap actually is really important for this 3D vision. And also in order to focus on something, like in front of you, your eyes, your normal eyes, they have a very good binocular overlap. Very, very good binocular overlap. And that's why you can easily focus on things and have this beautiful 3D vision, right? But if you spread it out over a bigger FOV, then you have the problem that this binocular overlap gets smaller, and then it's not so comfortable anymore to focus on something that's right in front of you. And you will also have a bit of less 3D feeling. And like, for example, the Pimax headsets, they are using 2 viewports. And because they're stretching the FOV so far with 2 viewports, that's why you have like a smaller binocular overlap with the Pimax headsets as compared to something like the Valve Index or the Rift S. So if StarVR comes up with some kind of compatibility tool, then probably you will also run into these kind of problems when simply all the Steamvr games should be compatible, even though they only use 2 viewports. So I really hope that I could bring that across to you, the problem that we have here. So we don't know yet, how does StarVR actually solve this problem? We don't know yet. And until we really know for sure how they solve this problem, how about compatibility with all your games? Again, let me make it 100% clear to you. Do not buy the StarVR One yet. Wait for the MRTV review. I'm going to really try it with all the games. And just then can you be really sure, okay, this will really work with X-Plane 11, that will really work with DCS, that will really work with Alex. Who should buy the device? All of you guys who have like a very special use case. I don't know, you're making your own content and you're making your own, I don't know, you have your own VR arcade, you make your own content for it, you can program it with, you can program that content with the StarVR SDK, and then, yes, get the device. This is the best VR experience that I personally ever had in my whole life. Period. The best. Even though the resolution, it cannot compare now with the Pimax 8KX, but it was the best VR experience that I ever had in my whole life. So that is something that I needed to tell you, and I really hope that I got this message across, that you should wait for the MRTV review, or you should wait for more information from StarVR. Let them tell us what's the matter. Are normal people like us, should we buy it? Should VR enthusiasts buy it? Until then, don't do it. I really hope that you feel informed by this show, and I really hope that you understand what the problem is here. And I did get another donation here. Thank you so much, Real Zubunabi. Thank you so much, man. €6. Thank you, man. And you brought it to 5%. Yes, 5%. And Real Zubunabi says, "Come on, guys, support this man." Thank you, man. Yeah, support this man. Support MRTV for giving you this stuff, unbiased and honest, for telling you exactly what's going on in VR. Yeah, all right. Yeah, what else can I tell you about the StarVR One? Actually, I can tell you that the StarVR One actually is very comfortable, super comfortable. It only weighs 450 grams. So that is something that was really, a surprise to me. It's really, really a surprise to me. And, it was just so comfortable. It's very light. They have also this rigid head strap, which has like the wheel here in the back, and then you would simply like fasten the wheel, and it's super comfortable, super light, and it was good. Then there was another question was there. The other question was like, does it come with controllers? No, but you can use any kind of Steamvr compatible controller. So you can use your Vive Wands, you can use the Valve Index controllers, or you can also use the Etee controllers once they are ready. And yes, so 450 gram was really, really, like, it's for this kind of headset, it's amazing. And then again, I was like blown away by the FOV and how this device actually is not so huge. The device is not so huge. Really amazing. Okay, so I think, oh yeah, also it has 90 hertz. It has 90 hertz. The device has 90 hertz. When I played it, everything was fine. Everything was super fluid. I really enjoyed it. And well, it is an OLED display. So OLED displays, they have a problem. They cannot go so super high like LCD displays can with the refresh rate, right? So 90 hertz with this kind of huge field of view is quite good. And very important for OLED displays, the problem normally is that you have some kind of afterglow, some kind of smearing, black smearing. But with this device, I could not see that at all. So it has a very low afterglow, and well, the device was made for VR, so that definitely is helpful. All right, so now I think I have said everything I wanted to say about the StarVR One. Again, my advice to you, do not buy it. If you are not a developer, if you're not an enterprise who does their own content, and let's wait for the news if it really supports all the SteamVR games and if they build some kind of compatibility layer that deals with the viewport problem. Yeah, right. PSVR was with 120 Hertz. Exactly, that's true. Yeah, the PSVR is actually quite an amazing headset. That is really true. Okay, now I'm ready to answer your questions about the SteamVR, about the StarVR One. Please go ahead. If you have any questions, now is the right time to ask the questions. Now is the time to ask the questions. Christopher Rodesy, for sim games, do you think increased FOV is more important, or is an increased resolution a better deal? Wow, that's a really good question. I think resolution is kind of important, right? If you want to see all the gauges and stuff, right? But then the huge FOV is also nice. Yeah, so actually the Pimax 8KX, right? It's a sweet deal because you do have a big FOV, not as big as the StarVR One, but you have that sweet resolution. So I think the 8KX for sim gamers is a really good headset for simmers. But then also the G2 is coming, right? The HP Reverb G2 is coming. So you're going to hear information on this channel first, I believe. So definitely stay tuned to MRTV. You're going to get lots of information about the HP Reverb G2 here on the channel really soon, and that's going to be very, very exciting. Is the StarVR STE similar to the PSVR? Oh, that's a good question. So actually it was very hard to see. Wow, thank you. Demimage0 donated 21 euro. Man, thank you so much. 21 euros. Thank you so much. Demimage0. Great work, says Demimage0. Wow, look at this. 7%. Yes. For 7%, I will be here in June. So the StarVR One, is it similar to PSVR? Well, I can tell you from my memories, it was really tough to see any screen door effect. If you really looked for it, you can find it. That's for sure. That's what I can remember. If you really looked for it, you could find it. But it was better than the screen door effect of the Vive Pro and of the Quest, for sure. How did his beer refill? Yeah, I did it with my hands. Oh, that's a good question. Audio solution. That is a good question. Oh, guys, you're too fast. There was no audio solution when I was testing it. There was no audio solution. So that is a drawback, and then you would need to use your own headset. So that for sure is a drawback, and you will need to use your own headset. Dan M, how does it look like from a far distance on StarVR? You mean like in sim games? Yeah, you see, that's a problem. I can't tell you because I haven't tested it yet in the MRTV headquarters. It was just these amazing demos that I saw, which were breathtaking, and I couldn't try myself, like Explain 11 or whatever. And Yakomuzo says, don't buy, Sebastian need to order first. Yes. What was the best, StarVR or Xtal? Yeah, I can very easily answer this question. For me, I preferred the StarVR One, right? But Xtal is good for another thing. Xtal, they are really focused on enterprise. For them, it's the most important to make the picture quality that is like stunning. They have they have like spheric lenses, which are not Fresnel lenses. So the picture quality on X-Style is really, really superb. But it's like it's not meant for players, the X-Style. The X-Style is meant for applications, for enterprise applications, where you really need the maximum clarity. So that's really important to say. Like for us gamers, yeah, the StarVR One, it was like just like too impressive. What VR would I buy now? Well, if the StarVR One would be compatible with all the Steamvr games, I would definitely go for the StarVR One, there's no question. X-Style works with the games, why shouldn't StarVR One? Again, it's about the viewports. And the thing is, if you have 4, the games must have included it when they were made. So you could probably make some kind of compatibility software, but then it most likely is not the same experience like actually what you could have. I hope that answers the question. Yeah, that's a good question. Mr. Metalaholic, what was the overall sharpness across the FOV? So I was looking left and right when I was using the StarVR One, and that is what really like blew me away as well. The lenses were so good. The lenses, they were able to project the picture over the whole FOV in like a stable way where everything looked sharp. So that was really good. And from my first impressions, I can tell you that these lenses were way better than the lenses that we see with the Pimax headsets right now. That was really good. Yeah. How is the stereo overlap? Okay, let me show you something. Okay, now you should see what I see, right? Yeah. So, because they're using 4 viewports, they can still give you that nice binocular overlap here. Right? Here. Like if you would only have 2 viewports and stretch them out to the right and left in order to maximize FOV with 2 viewports, then the binocular overlap goes missing. But because they use 5, they don't need to stretch those viewports here. So therefore we still have good binocular overlap. But again, that's something that I must try in the MRTV headquarters myself. This is now theoretically and from my memory. From my memory, I was super impressed. So, I'm looking for your questions. Your questions answered here. What is the FOV of the G2? I cannot answer this question. Let's talk about the HP G2. I can't do that. And Enis Sabanovic, is StarVR? Oh, thank you. We have another winner here. We have another winner. Thank you, Dallas. Thank you so much, Dallas. Payday 3. Would it be possible to use with PS5 or Scarlett? No. No. StarVR One is like, it works with the Steamvr tracking. Thank you so much for your super chat, dear Dallas Payday. Man, I got my own Dallas Payday here. So, Enes, is StarVR the killer VR headset we've been waiting for? I've been waiting to buy a headset, but always ended up not buying because I'm still waiting for a headset that is good enough. Dear Ennis, this headset is for sure good enough, but we don't have enough information. Just like I said before, we don't know yet about Steamvr game compatibility. So at this moment in time, I would say, at this moment in time that we don't know all this information, don't buy it. Okay. Wait, where's the next question? James Cobalt, StarVR One lenses appear fixed at 64 millimeters hardware-wise. Do you think the use of dynamic distortion correction reduces the need for hardware IPD adjustment? That's a super good question. I do believe that like applying like dynamic corrections on the fly based on where you look at and based on your IPD, it does help a lot. I do not know though yet about how good this actually works for large and small IPDs. I don't know yet, but I totally can't remember this part. I super cannot remember this part because I personally did not have any problems. And I can remember though that in the very beginning, when I was putting it on, there was some kind of adjustment. There was some adjustment. There were some green crosses that had to overlap, and I don't remember exactly if that actually was IPD adjustment or what was that. So this part again, I don't remember. We don't have the information needed. So I can only give you that information once I've tried it myself here at the MRTV headquarters, and once we have more information from StarVR. And that's why I tell you again, do not buy this device now. Wait for the MRTV review. Norman, is the lens design within StarVR One proprietary, and can Pimax have license for this lens design? I don't know about this. I know it's a custom-made lens, and I really don't know. With COVID, there is no chance to attend any presentation. Will you ask them for a review model? I've been asking them for a review model since like 2 years. I hope it's going to happen now, and for sure the world at large would be interested in an MRTV StarVR One review. If yes, say yes. But I don't know. I didn't test it again. I tested it in Berlin at IFA, and that's where I tested it. And 666 Asmodan says, I hope Pimax will follow in the footsteps of StarVR and will do distortion correction based on eye tracking. I hope so too. That would be amazing. And yeah, why not? I think they could do it because, well, they also have eye tracking soon, right? So I believe that is absolutely a possibility. Of course, I cannot speak for Pimax, but I do believe it's a possibility that they can do that. Okay, Angelo Brundle says, JMB3D on the OpenMR forum stated the StarVR have a new SDK with that most SteamVR games will work, but I don't know if this has any credibility. Yeah, I also don't know, so we have to wait for the official StarVR information about that, right? Binocular overlap on the StarVR like Pimax should be better on the StarVR, but I can only tell you once I have the device here in the MRTV headquarter. And Mark John says, I like that you can drink a beer with Etee Controller with one hand. Yes, that's a good part. Yeah, probably it's like an index with 210 degrees field of view. Yeah, something like this. But I can only like confirm this once I have the device here. Would I rather use virtual desktop or with Quest or Link? I like virtual desktop. Whew. How much is the StarVR One? It was 3,200 in the developer version, which never came out. So I probably believe it's again around the same kind of money. Skid Row says, hello Skid Row. Guess StarVR One will need something like PyTool or something. I think so too. They will probably also have something like PyTool in order to work on this compatibility with the Steamvr games. And Bernard says, I'm glad to know StarVR One is back in the game. I'm glad too. It was about time. And I'm really excited to try this out. Hopefully the games will be, all the games will be compatible. That would be amazing. And hopefully they're going to use the full FOV without distortions, and that would be really good. And crazily, I'm going to start with the Index VR. That makes sense. The Valve Index is definitely the headset that I would, recommend for the huge majority of people. Oh, guys, you've asked so many questions. One question is, what beer is it? This is some German beer called Hansa, which is very cheap. 30 cents a bottle. Whew. I'm trying to find all the questions. With the right amount of GPU power, can StarVR's FFR option, but they have DFR, get clarity up to par, even close to 8KX? Planet VR, I don't know. I really don't know. The picture looked amazing, but I can tell you once I can really do A/B comparisons. How much better was it with 2 graphic cards as opposed to 1? Well, I think the setup that I was trying was 2 1080 Ti. That was one setup, and the other setup, I think it was like one of these enterprise GPUs, like Quadro or so. So yeah, it was good on both. Okay. Dan, if Pimax 8KX got eye tracking with DFR and fixed the distortion, would you prefer the 8KX or the StarVR for the wider FOV? Wow, that's a good question. Well, it would be sweet, of course, if there was no more distortion on the Pimax 8KX. That would be pretty amazing. But StarVR, of course, you have that super wide FOV, and the colors looked so good too. Well, I would have to try side by side. I can't just tell you right now the answer. I would have to really see them side by side. Dallas, when will you receive it? I don't know. I don't even know if I will receive it. I don't know. I asked them, but I don't know. The binocular overlap in the Pimax headsets is not so great. Yeah, because well, they're trying to maximize the FOV, and therefore, yeah, they will lose the binocular overlap quite a bit. So, not so good. Do I think that StarVR have been working on something behind the scenes? I don't think so. I think that is their device now, the StarVR One, and hopefully it can work well. Kevin Martins, hello. You speak about StarVR. I thought they stopped because of financial issues. Does it mean they came back? Yes, they came back. Dear Kevin, do you not watch this channel religiously? If you did, you would know already. How is the binocular overlap on the 8KX? Yeah, same as on the other Pimax headsets. It's not good. It's not as good as other headsets that have less FOV. Nathaniel Kemp, are the RTX 2080 Ti graphics cards way better than just the one graphic card on the StarVR One? Actually, with the StarVR One, I think if you go to their website, you can easily run that resolution. I think they only require you to have a 1080 Ti or so. Natural field of view achieved. Others, StarVR One. Well, they made this very nice. They made this very nicely. Check this out. Others, StarVR One. Yeah, and actually I can agree to this. Well, others as in Pimax is still competing, right? But not like this. Okay. Here it is. Can you see that? It's the minimum system requirements. GTX 1080 Ti. Or Quadro RTX 5000. Do you have any more questions? Price estimate 3000. Paradise Decay. Hello, Paradise Decay. StarVR or Google Cardboard? Man. I think for the affordability, it should be Google Cardboard. Yeah, Rudel Zavetno. Would you say Artisan has better binocular overlap? That was my perception. That was my feeling when I was trying the Artisan. I had the feeling I could more easily like see things like this, and I had the feeling I had more binocular overlap. And I wrote to Pimax, and I told them, hey, I have the feeling I have more binocular overlap with the Artisan, and they answered me, or they wrote somewhere on the forum that all the headsets have the same binocular overlap for Pimax, and therefore I did not include it into my review anymore. But from my perception, I had a better feeling on the Artisan as compared to the other Pimax headsets. Thank you so much, Games Master Jordan. Happy you are my German neighbor. Yeah, Games Master Jordan. Where are you from then? I am here in Dortmund. Okay, I'm looking for more questions. Crazily says super sampling may make the StarVR look better. It already looks good. Guys, don't get me wrong here, it looks really great. So yeah. Is StarVR One actually seeking funding? No. You don't need to be concerned because StarVR is Acer now. And Acer got a big pocket. No worries. They're not going to go bankrupt. Silverlights, that's a good question. Silverlights always wondered who lives in a pineapple at the bottom of the sea. Is it SpongeBob or? Hi Adam. I'm a bit late to the party. I recall the StarVR One having issues with sense of scale. No. There was the Xtel. There was not the CES. There was not the StarVR One. Is Artisan better than 5K Plus? I prefer the Artisan, yes. Starbreeze is out of the picture, dear Dallas Payday. Thank you, Dallas. Thank you, Dallas Payday 3. Thank you. Are resellers actually selling this yet? Well, I heard from StarVR One, they directly told me, purchase tab is open, it starts now. Is StarVR 16 million subpixels considered a lot? I couldn't find any info on the exact number of subpixels on the index. Dear Dan, the number of subpixels on the index is 1600 times 1440 times 2 times 3. Hello Gamertag, what's up? All the best from me to you, man. And Gene Winter, yeah, it could be like this, yes. Florin Babukanu, I have not tried to play 3D games on a 3D projector. How can you measure binocular overlap while wearing it? So like how I normally do it, I close my right and left eye like this, and then I see what are the same things that I see in the vision, and then I can quite easily see how big is the binocular overlap. What are the same things that I see when I close my left eye and then close my right eye, close my left eye, and then I can tell. Then it's quite easy to see the binocular overlap. When are we going to get a decent wireless HMD? Asks Fee Bo. Well, you can get the Cosmos Elite and make it wireless for 400 euros. And there's somebody from Korea who wants to know the secret of the StarVR lens. You must ask them. I also don't know. It looks good. Oliver Cook, did they mention cheaper consumer version in the future? Well, they told me they want to do that at one point in time, but it was like a long time ago. I don't know. Yep. I have not tried the Steamvr pen from Logitech. Coronavirus affecting production? No, I think they already produced all the headsets. Everything is just waiting to be sold. And thank you, Dallas Payday. Was Starbreeze last piece of StarVR acquired by Acer? I don't know these details. I just know that they are not part of the equation anymore, so I believe that Acer must have taken it up. Can you see screen door effect in the index? If you really want to see it, then I think you can still see some. Shoujo, you really do get an increased sense of speed with a wider FOV while driving? While driving, yes. There's no question, yes. Shoujo says, StarVR needs to drop those Fresnel lenses for real. Shoujo, I'm telling you, when you put that on, you have that huge field of vision. Everything is full with OLED screen. The lenses are so good, believe me, no problem. But of course, I need to have it here. But it's really good. Norman, in the car demo, I was just sitting in the car which was not moving. So I didn't have any kind of increased sense of speed. Any glare and God rays on the StarVR? Well, I didn't see any in my demo. That's something that I would have to try out here in the MRTV headquarters. Is the new Pimax headset far behind StarVR? When you tried StarVR was 2018. Do you think you would be as impressed after trying the newer headsets? Yes. Well, I still remember that feeling or that immersion that I have, and I would still be impressed right now. That's for sure. Even after seeing all the other headsets, probably I would not be impressed by the resolution. And yeah, but anyways, it was just the best VR experience that I ever had. Paradise. Can you see screen door in real life? No, I think in real life, like, they made it really good. No screen door effect. Oh, I'm nearly done with the question. That's good. Is the extra consumer version still in the works? I have not heard about that anymore, so I believe it's not. And dear Adil, the StarVR still feels impressive, even now. StarVR is in Taiwan, Taipei, Taiwan. Oh, I'm done with all the questions. Amazing. All right. Cool. Perfect. So, I really hope that you enjoyed today's show. I really hope that you enjoyed today's show about the Etee controllers, right? The very cool interview that I had with Kuba, one of the guys working on the Etee controllers. Again, very nice. The Kickstarter is down in the description below. Then I really hope that you enjoyed the segment of the StarVR, where I told you everything about the StarVR One. And again, I must tell you again to make it 100% clear, at this moment in time, where we don't know yet about all the details, if you're not a programmer, if you're not an enterprise, if you're not somebody with a project where you program your own content for VR, If you're not this kind of person, if you are a person who just wants to play games, then do not buy the StarVR One yet, because we don't know yet how about compatibility of all the SteamVR games, because again, this headset is actually made for 4 viewports and not 2. So there might be some compatibility issues, and you guys know that now because you're watching MRTV. So I hope I could get that information across in a comprehensible way. If yes, give it a thumbs up. And I hope I really hope that you, appreciate this channel, appreciate all the news that I'm giving you, and appreciate all the unbiased content that you get about all the VR headsets. If you do, then give this a thumbs up. And of course, if you want to support this channel on the long run, if you want to support this channel, if also in the future you want to get unbiased and honest XR reviews from MRTV, support this channel by going to mrtvelite.com. It will only set you back $3. It's one adult beverage that you're sending over to Germany and supporting this so I can keep on doing what I'm doing. And I absolutely need to get more Patreons in order to be able to continue what I'm doing here right now. So if your purchasing decisions depend on what I'm telling you, depend on these honest and unbiased reviews, then consider becoming a Patreon so that in the future I can keep on doing this. I will need to earn way more on Patreon to be able to continue, especially in these hard Corona times. So if you love what I'm doing, and if your purchasing decisions depend on my honest and unbiased reviews, then become an MRTV Patreon at mrtvelite.com. You're getting amazing extra information there, and you're getting all the stuff, everything first. So whenever I get the StarVR One, you're going to see it first. Thank you so much, Norman. Can you connect Pimax with StarVR for the best HMD? Yeah, I'm sure they would love to talk with each other. Tim Beckman is already a fan on Patreon. Thanks. Yeah, so if you enjoy the stuff that I'm doing, consider becoming a Patreon at mrtvelite.com. It's going to give you all the stuff first. You're supporting this channel and everything will be good. All right. Thank you so much for everyone who has donated some money. Thank you, Norman Robinson. Thank you, Dallas Payday. Thank you so much, Games Master Jodan. Thank you, Image Zero. Thank you, Real Zubanabi. Thank you, Chris Benson. Thank you, Recycled. Thank you, You Got Cold Yogurt. Thank you, Ricardo Rodriguez. And thank you, Duked. And thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. It's so appreciated, and thanks to you, we get 7%. And then we're going to work on that until June is coming, and we're going to make it happen. Yeah, if you have not yet subscribed to MRTV yet, do so now and give it a thumbs up, of course, if you enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to see you in the next episode.